महाकाया सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। नमः सूर्याय चन्द्राय मंगलाय बुधाय च गुरु शुक्र शनिभ्यश्च राहुवे केतुवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
Inhale deeply with war and exhale deeply. You see 3 times. Follow me.
derecha con dirección a Florida 823 South, Red Road. Florida 823 South, durante 2 millas.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Shri Guru Padikaya Namaha. 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 Shri Guru Padikaya Namaha. Om Shri Guru Padikaya Namaha. Om Shri Guru Padikaya Namaha. With the deep transcendental Kriya consciousness meditation, let's do the three pranayams. First pranayam, inhale deeply with Va, exhale deeply with C. 7 times, follow me through. The deep transcendental Kriya consciousness is the second pranayam. Inhale deeply with Va and exhale deeply with C, halfway through. Follow me 7 times. The deep transcendental Kriya consciousness. Let's do the third pranayam. Inhale deeply with Va and exhale deeply with C, one single breath. Follow me 7 times. The deep channel Kriya consciousness by meditation and Kriya Kundalini Pranayam. We are getting in touch with the universal energy. With that universal energy, let's pray for the welfare of the world. First, let's pray for getting us out of these COVID-19 and other infectious diseases around the world. So, we're going to pray Tanmantri Maharishi through Mahata Babaji 7 times.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantriyaya Amrita Kalashakastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaya Trayogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantriyaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantriyaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantriyaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantriyaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantriyaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantriyaya Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaya Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namaha. Another problem we are encountering in the world is the the war, and a lot of people are suffering from unnecessary war crimes, and innocent people are suffering even today. So let's pray for them to Kala Bhairava and Mahata Babaji 7 times. Om Swarnadvijaya Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad.
Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Swarnadvijaya Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad.
Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Swarnadvijaya Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad.
Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Swarnadvijaya Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad.
Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Swarnadvijaya Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad.
Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Swarnadvijaya Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayad.
Kriya Babaji Namaha.
Om Swarnadvijaya Vidmahe Sulahastaya Dhimahi Tano Kala Bhairavaya Prachodayadi.
Kriya
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
The universe responds with the, we pray with the universal consciousness, with mind and heart. So with that, we are going to continue with our Sathsang. As all of you know, we are reading some of the passages from the Light, the holy book, written by, given by Lord Kartikeya, Lord Muruga, for us to understand how the Atman, the life, really get the energy to function here on the earth, as well as how the earth gets energy, and our universal connection with our Atmans, Jivatmans, Paramatmans, etc. So let's get a few words from the last class, and then we'll continue.
So as we were talking about the sunlight energy that is divided into 16 rays at each time we get the sunlight, the rays change every 24 minutes based on the combinations that we have. There are 4 metallic bits that come from the sun, which are the mercury bits, the gold bits, the copper bits, and the silver bits that come from the sun. And these come in also combined with the 3 strands that are your magnetic strand, the heat strand, and the toxic strand. And once it also combines with the elemental bits once it enters the Gnanalayam, which is the atmosphere surface of the earth, and those elemental strands are your Akash, your water, the heat, Akash, water, heat, air, and the earth element. So we were first talking about the first 12 chapters that cover how the mercury bits come down through the earth and how it combinations with all those 15 in the 15 narigas, which is 15 times 24 narigas, how do they combine and what is the benefit of the mercury base that hit the earth and its combination, and what are its benefits. Now last class we discussed chapter 12, which was the last part of the mercury bits that we are going to be talking about, and so it goes. 1/4 of the 60 nariga has the combination of earth elements, and the earth element that combines with the mercury bits or with any other bits has the property of cleaning the toxins. The light energy that is coming from the sun is nothing but the godly energy, and because of the earth's rotation, all parts of this earth receives this light, and also the amount of light received by the earth is also changing depending on which one is facing the earth. Which one is facing the sun. The sunlight gives different types of energies, thus the energies are changing every 24 minutes, which is equal to 1 nariga. Each metallic bit stays for 12 narigas with each combination. Now sunlight changes according to the quality of the earth and influences different parts of the world. The amount of gravitational energy from the earth also correlate with each other, thus changing the qualities of the light. Water and earth bits also, how much it goes up is determined by the gravitational pull of the earth, and that determines also the sunlight that much comes down. Therefore, this combination also differs a lot because of the rotation of the earth as well as the gravitational pull of the earth. Now that is constant, but the sunlight is changing mainly due to the gravity. Now at the Gnanalayam, all the energy coming down will stop. That means the sunlight energy and the energy of other planets will stop. The intensity of that sunlight also changes constantly. Due to changes in the gravitational force of Earth, movement of that energy upward from Earth in the form of toxic strand plus earth bits and in the form of heat strand plus water bits has to be in equal amounts in order to reach the wind mobility. Focus on this concept, how the energy of the sun comes down and how it changes depending upon gravity. Only some parts of the earth has that equality of this, and therefore the light travels down. If the water element is more, then the earth element will be less, and that particular place will receive less energy. There has to be equal amount of land plus water, and then the travel upward will go and bring down the sunlight. Because the soil and water are also equally attracted to each other and they travel together, earth energy plus water energy has different starting points and differ when they reach the wind motive. At the wind motive, there is vayu or air, which then becomes a swirl and brings the sunlight from the sun, brings it down in combination. Earth or soil has solid density, but at the wind motive, its density is lesser. More water has to join in order to equal the earth or soil because of that density heavy to have that upward movement because water is of less dense character. So the combination or the ratio that has to be equal is almost 1 to 2. 1 part of earth must combine with 2 parts of water, which is twice the density of water, is needed to equalize the density of that earth. Now it attracts more of sunlight when coming down, else the energy will not reach upwards. All this is very important. So when earth, which 1 part of earth and 2 parts of water has to be the combination, which is the main bringer of the sunlight. Other planets' energies also stop at the wind motive. So the places that do not have this equal combination will not get equal sunlight. Highest godly energy will be present when this combination is equal and will be there. Because all Atmans will try and choose these type of places to be born because they want the light bridge has to be formed in these places. Now, moving to the toxic strands actually destroy the toxins. There has to be something to remove or cleanse this toxin, which is done by the earth element. Actually, when the mercury bits, copper bits, gold bits, and the silver bits and iron happens because of the toxic strand. The sunlight energy has decreased energy in iron, but it can attract all the other metals towards it. Since this iron comes from the center of the earth, which is very dark, and its sole food is only sunlight, the energy is also therefore very, very intense. Iron has a lot of intensity and thus a great amount of attraction towards the toxins rather than the other metals. Last part of the toxic strand that it travels to the pituitary gland, and from the pituitary gland it goes to the Saturn gland in humans. Thus this energy will also remove the toxins from the other glands. There are layers on top of these organs which are also toxic, which will also be cleansed. If this cleansing does not happen, then they will convert into hard toxins and remain on top of my organs. At 15th Narige, the mercury strand does not shine because of the toxins, but it does this important work. Because of the 14th Narige, these toxins are removed. Therefore, earth element comes down at the end of the mercury strand, at the end of 15th Narige. Focus on this and feel it and take it in or understand this part and put into action. If one understands this, one can feel it inside the body. For example, it is cool in the morning and then the heat creeps in and that is felt by the body. Similarly, if one can focus that, you can actually feel the cleansing part. Because of Earth's rotation, one can feel the heat and the cold is felt by the body, but a lot more is just going on. As we know that the sunlight is divided into 4 triangles. The first end of first triangle.
The Earth.
Sorry,
sunlight.
the Earth receiving the sunlight is traveling into 4 triangles. So the end of first triangle, the heat energy is going up. In the end of second triangle, the heat energy is coming down. At the end of third triangle, the cold energy is going up. And at the fourth triangle end, heat energy is also going up. So feel this and it will be helpful to the human body as Earth itself already knows and feels it and it takes in accordingly. Therefore, those that need spiritual energy or elevations in the further chapters, Jnana will be explained how to be increased. Thus, the light itself can be used as food source, which will be understood in our further chapters.
Okay. A lot of information to absorb. Another important change of things I want to mention is that places of the Earth, all the places of the Earth are getting such energy. No problem, yes. But the amount of energy the particular place getting varies. And the highest amount of energy is the place where you have 1 part of the Earth and 2 parts of water. So all the places will be getting, but these places are much more higher intensity of sunlight energy. So apparently it seems that even the souls which are born, they try to look at a place where this kind of combination is there. And then they are born. Number 2, the yogis and saints, they voluntarily and intellectually, they go and look for the place like this. So they get more energy for their spiritual progress. Okay, just want to mention that. All right, so we are moving on to until chapter 12. For each of the metal, like mercury, copper, gold, and silver, Muruga has given 12 chapters. So finishing the mercury metal energy, we are moving on to the copper metal energy from chapter 13. As usual, I'm going to read in English in Tamil and then translate in English. சூரிய ஒளியாற்றல் என்பது 4 வகை கனிமங்களை ஆதாரமாக கொண்டு இயங்குகின்றன. So sunlight is going to be based on 4 types of metallic energy. As I said, it is mercury, gold, silver, and copper energy. Okay, so we are looking at the copper now. The second energy coming down is copper. பாதரச ஆற்றலை தொடர்ந்து தங்கம் எனும் ஆற்றலை அதிக அளவில் வீணடைகிறது. So highest amount of energy is first we are getting mercury energy. The second highest amount of energy is gold metallic energy. ஆற்றலையும் பெறுகிறது. இன்னும் புவியின் சுழற்சியில் முதல் செங்கோண பகுதி என்பது வடகிழக்கில் துவங்கி தென்கிழக்கு எல்லை அடைகிறது. So remember, you're starting with the triangles. The first triangle is northeast, so that is where the first appearance of sun is there. And then slowly it is going to go to the southeast. Okay, first northeast and then it goes to southeast time. பின்தொடரும் செங்கோண பகுதி என்பது தென்பகுதியினே சாரும். So it's going to go to south. தென்கிழக்கு பகுதியிலிருந்து தென்மேற்கு எல்லை அடைகின்ற புவியின் சுழற்சியானது. So from southeast it is going to go to southwest. The triangle. சூரிய ஒளியாற்றிலிருந்து தாமிரம் எனப்படும் கனிம ஆற்றலை அதிக அளவில் ஈர்த்து பெற்றிடும். So from north east to southeast, and then that time you are going to get the more copper in those places where you are getting the mercury. So step by step they are changing. ஒளி இழைகளின் வீரியம் வெப்பத்தினை ஏற்றிடும் தன்மை ஒளி இழைகளின் வீரியம் that is light strands intensity, வெப்பத்தினை ஏற்றிடும் தன்மை, amount of heat that can possibly transmit on the earth, okay, those quality, மற்றும் அதன் பயணத்தின் வேகம், then also the sunlight's speed ஆகியவையே கனிமத்தின் ஆற்றலை தீர்மானிக்கிறது. So this is the intensity of the light strands, the heat, the speed. These are all the ones that decides the particular elements energy, how much energy is coming down to earth. Okay, so that's what it is. It's general to all the four of them. தாமிரம் எனப்படும் கனிமொழியானது சூரிய வெப்பத்தினை ஏற்று வெளித்தோன்றி குவினை அடைவது என்பது சூரிய ஒளியின் உச்சிப்பொழில் நிகழ்கிறது. So the copper metallic strand, when it is absorbing the sun's heat and it is coming down to the earth, but the maximum amount happens at the uchippozhil, means the middle of the day. That is about 12 noon. That's a time when you get the maximum heat. Of course, it is obvious that we get the maximum heat at the middle of the day with this noon time. சூரிய ஒளியாற்றல் என்பது கனிமங்கள் என்று அழைக்கப்படுகின்ற ஒளியாற்றல் இழைகளாய் உருமாற்றி செயலாற்றுகிறது. So sun's light energy is going to be coming down as strands of light. We remember we talked about already magnetic strand, heat strand, and toxic strand, right? So those three strands. தொடர்ச்சியாக நிகழ்கின்ற செயலானது கனிம வளங்களை புவிக்கு கோளிற்கு ஒளி வடிவில் இருக்கின்றது. So all this energy is going to come as light forms. 4 கனிமங்களே சூரியக்குழந்து வெடித்துள்ளது, இன்னும் பல்வேறு கனிமங்களாக உருமாற்றப்படுகின்றன. See, mainly the 4 types of metallic energy only coming down, but then eventually different combination of this 4 energy will make other metals also. All of you know, in the periodic table we have about 110 elements, but all these elements are nothing but the combinations of these 4. You should remember, from sunlight you get only 4 main elements, which is mercury, copper, gold, and silver. But the different combinations of these elements make other elements also, according to Lord Muruga. புவியினை 4 கனிமங்களும் சம அளவில் அடைகின்றன, எனினும் மாறுபட்ட தன்மைகளை செயலாற்றுகின்றன. So all the different parts of the earth get same amount of this 4 metallic energy, but then they are getting in different times, right? Remember those 4 triangles, and earth is also rotating, so they are getting in different times, but the equal amounts. பாதரச கனிம ஆற்றல் என்பது முதன்மை ஆற்றலாகவும் தொடர்கின்ற ஆற்றல் மாறுபட்ட விதாச்சாரத்தை வெளியிட்டுள்ளது. மூல காரணம் எது? So why mercury has to come as the first energy and other elements as a following energy? Why? சூரியனிலிருந்து வெளித்தோன்றும் ஆற்றல் அனைத்தும் சம அளவிலே கலப்பு கொண்டே வினையாற்றுகின்றன, எனினும் சுழற்சியின் காரணமாக மாறுபட்டாங்க. Why it is happening is because of the rotation of the earth. Because of the rotation of the earth, all these are coming in different times. சூரிய ஒளி என்பது அனைத்து ஆற்றல்களையும் உள்ளடக்கியது, எனினும் ஈர்ப்பின் தன்மைக்கு ஏற்ப வெளிப்பாடுகளும் மாற்றமும் 4 கனிமங்களும் ஒன்று என கலப்பு கொண்டே பரவிடும். So even though the sunlight has the same amount of energy everywhere, but depending on the gravitational energy of the earth, remember we talked about some places where they have more water, more gravitational energy, places with less water, less energy, and places with more earth, so less energy, and so on. So depending on that energy, the amount of sunlight absorbed by the earth is going to be varying. It's going to be different. Okay, that we talked about already. It's a repeat. 4 கனிம வளங்களும் ஒன்றென கலப்பு கொண்டே பரவிடும். So all those 4 elements are going to be coming the same amount, but then it depends on the earth and the water combination. காந்த இழைகள் மற்றும் வெப்ப இழைகளாய் திறந்திடும் தருணமும். So it is going to, the energy is going to change into magnetic strands, heat strands, and toxic strands, right? We talked about that. And then you have ஐவகை மூலக்கூறுகளும் கலப்பு கொண்டிட மாறுபட்ட தன்மை ஏற்றும். Then all those 5 elements we talked about. Remember, we talked about Akash element, we talked about air, we talked about heat, we talked about water, we also talked about air. So the ஐவகை மூலக்கூறுகள் கலப்புகளிட மாறுபட்ட தன்மையை ஏற்றிடும். So when this is coming, atomic bits are coming, it's also going to be different character. எனினும் அறிய வேண்டியது யாதெனில் ஒன்றென கலப்பு கொண்ட ஆற்றல்கள் விண்மூடுதலை அடைந்திருந்த தருணத்தில் எவ்விதம் மாற்றமுடின. So even though all these energy is equal in the beginning, when it is coming on the wind model, when they are changing differently according to the gravitation attraction of the earth. Okay, that is more important here. அனைத்து கனிமூலங்களும் பாதரச ஆற்றல் மிக்கவையே. So all those metallic energy, they also have part and parcel of mercury also, but in a different amount. காந்த ஆற்றல் கொண்டே அவை செயல்படுகின்றன. They all have the magnetic energy. All of you know mercury has the magnetic energy. So all the elements also have a little bit of magnetic energy. ஈர்ப்புத்தன்மை அதிகம் கொண்ட கனிமங்கள் மூலக்கூறுகளையும் சமவெளியில் ஏற்றிடும். So those which are having higher attraction, of course, they will also get more heat energy also. எனினும் அந்த தன்மையிலே சற்று மாற்றமிடும். Even though all of them are getting it, the quality amount is going to be different for different elements. பாதரசம் எனும் கனிமமான ஏற்றும் வெப்பத்தன்மை என்பது குறைவாய் காணப்படும். So mercury metal will have heat lesser. Comes down, it is going to have lesser heat. தாமிரம் என்பது கூடியே அமைந்திடும். Whereas the copper will have more heat. It is getting more heat. அவ்வகையில் 4 ஆற்றல்களும் கலப்பு கொண்டிடும் வெப்ப ஆற்றல் விகிதாச்சாரம். அவ்வகையில் 4 ஆற்றல்களிலும் கலப்பு கொண்டிடும் வெப்ப ஆற்றல் விகிதாச்சாரம். So just like that, all those 4 elements will have different amount of heat. Already we talked about mercury less heat, copper more heat, and I think in the future we're going to talk about less heat by the gold and then much less heat by the silver, which will come down later. The Muruga here says generally the amount of the heat received by the different metals, metallic energy is going to be different for different metals. Metallic energy. ஐவகை மூலக்கூறுகளும் உருவாகி ஒன்றிணையும் தருணம் காந்த இழை எனப்படும் நேர்மறை இழைகளில் இணைந்து பயணிப்பது போன்றே வெப்ப இழையாகிய திருமறை இழைகளும் இணைந்து பயணிக்கின்றன. தருணமதில் ஒவ்வொரு கனிம இழையும் மாறுபட்ட அளவினில் மூலக்கூறுகளை ஏற்றே விற்றிடும். All of you know, all these 3 strands, eventually they are going to be dividing into 5 மூலக்கூறுகள். There's the akash, heat, air, water, and the air, right? All those 5 elements is going to be transformed from these 3 strands. And of course, all those the 5 atomic bits have different amount of energy, heat energy, depending on which kind of combination is going to get. So remember, initially we talked about we have 60 different kind of energy we are getting in 60 NOR gate, right? These combinations are depending on the metals as well as strands and atomic energy bits. பாதரச ஆற்றல் கொண்ட கனிம இழைதனில் காணப்படும் நேர்மறை இழைதனில் அதிக மூலக்கூறுகள். So you also know that the magnetic strand is the positive energy and the heat strand is negative energy. So the positive strand is going to get more மூலக்கூறுகள். The atomic bits will be much more higher in the positive strand is coming. எதிர்மறை இழைதனில் குறைந்த அளவில் மூலக்கூறுகள் கலப்பு கொண்டு. So the negative strand, which is the heat strand, will have less amount of the molecular or the atomic energy bits. தாமிர கனிமமானது வெப்பத்தினை அதிக அளவில் ஏற்றும் தன்மை கொண்டதின் காரணத்தால் வெப்ப இழை எனப்படும் எதிர்மறை இழையானது அதிக மூலக்கூறியத்தை செயல்புரியும். So when you come to the next one, which is the copper, you can attract the more heat, right? We already talked about that. Because of this, the வெப்ப இழை and the negative strand is going to get maximum amount of the atomic energy bits. Because வெப்ப இழை அதிகம், அது தன்மையும் மாற்றப்படும். That quality also changes. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you're saying that the magnetic energy strand is positive energy having more atomic bits and the copper strand, and the heat strand has negative energy, so less atomic bits. Are we talking this atomic bits with respect to mercury, or are we talking this atomic bits with respect to copper, since we are in copper?
Here we are talking about, since we are coming closer to the combination there, He's telling both of them. He's telling the combination will be much higher. The mercury plus the magnetic will be much more compared to copper and then the heat. Since we are coming down the connections.
So the energy coming from mercury plus the magnetic strand will have a higher energy than the energy coming from the sun, which is a combination of copper and heat, will be lesser, because magnetic strand is the positive energy and copper strand is the heat strand, I'm sorry, is the negative energy.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes. Right. Yeah, any question in between, you can stop and ask me, and I'll try to explain that to you. A little more complex information. நான்வகை கனிமங்களும் ஒன்று என கலப்பு கொண்டு செயல்படுத்திடும் தருணங்களிலும் அதன் உட்கலந்த மூலக்கூறுகளின் விகிதாச்சாரமானது மாறுபடும். Okay, so all these four metallic elements, even though they are all coming in equal time, 1508, 1508 by each one of them, அதன் உட்கலந்த மூலக்கூறின் விகிதாச்சாரமானது மாறுபடும். The மூலக்கூறுகள் is the 5 energy bits, atomic energy bits will change according to the quality. விண்மெழுதனை அடைந்திடும் கண்மி ஒளிகள் யாவும் புவியின் ஈர்ப்பு விசை கொண்ட ஒளிகள் ஈர்ப்பிட்டு கலப்புகின்றன. All of you know, in the விண்மோடு everything is same, but then depending on the gravitational attraction of the earth and also combination of earth and water we talked about, the amount of the light for each of the material is going to be a little different. Right? Vidacharam means the percentage of different energy. புவியின் ஈர்ப்பு விசைதனிலே வெப்ப ஆற்றலை அதிகம் கலப்பு கொண்டிருக்கும் எனில் அவை சூரியனோடு கலப்பு கொண்டால் பன்மடங்காய் பெருகிவிடும். So in the Earth's gravitational attraction, the heat energy will be higher combination. Heat energy will be higher combination, and particularly when it joins with the sunlight. So I think it's comparing with the other planets also. Here the Earth is going to get more heat, definitely, okay, because of the gravitational attraction that is coming from the Earth and the soil and the water combination. விண் ஆற்றலான வெப்ப இழையும் புவி ஆற்றலான வெப்ப இழையும் விண் ஆற்றலான வெப்ப இழை. So the first, the three strands we are talking about, that one. The புவி ஆற்றலான வெப்ப இழையும் ஒன்றிணையும் தருணம் சிறப்புற மாற்றப்படும். So heat and heat, when it joins, higher energy will be transferred. Remember the heat strand and the heat atomic energy bits when they join is talking about. பாதரைசைகள் கலப்பு கொள்ளும் மூலக்கூறுகளும் தாமரைகளில் கலப்பு கொள்ளும் மூலக்கூறுகளும் மாற்றம். Of course it will be different for different elements, right? The one which is having the mercury bits and the other one with the copper bits will be definitely different amount of energy. ஐவகை மூலக்கூறுகளும் ஈர்ப்பின் அடிப்படையில் உருவாகி நிலைத்திடும் எனும் காரணத்தால் வெப்பத்தின் ஈர்ப்பினால் சாமர ஒளியியல் மூலக்கூறு யாவுமே எதிர்மறைகளால் மின்னெழுதிகளை எந்திரும். ஐவகை மூலக்கூறுகளும் 5 atomic energy bits ஈர்ப்பின் அடிப்படையில் உருவாகி depending on the gravity attraction it is going to be forming எனும் காரணத்தினால் வெப்பத்தின் ஈர்ப்பினால் தாமர ஒளியியல் மூலக்கூறுகள் யாவுமே, because the copper elements have more heat that is negative, எதிர்மறைகளான மின்னெழுதிகளை தனித்து இணைந்தே பயத்திடும். So all the atomic energy bit will be more of negative energy because of the heat being absorbed more by the copper compared to the mercury, which is going to be positive, much more positive. We are talking about atomic energy bits with positive and negative energy. வெப்ப மூலக்கூறுகள் மற்றும் நீர்ம மூலக்கூறுகளில் தாமர ஆற்றலானது எளிதில் பரவிடும். The copper energy will easily spread in the heat energy bits and the water energy bits. We're talking about the energy bits, atomic energy bits side, right? So வெப்ப மூலக்கூறு மற்றும் நீர் மூலக்கூறு, there will be higher energy. புவியின் செங்கோண சூழ்ச்சியில் தென் திசை மாத்திரமே சூரியன் இருக்கும் தரிசனம். So we already talked about in the northeast the sun is starting, but the noon time is exactly coming to the copper energy, right? That Sengodam, that triangle. மேலும் பரிபூரண ஆற்றலையும் பெற்றும். Because it is getting the noon time energy is coming during the copper, there you get complete energy of the sun. தந்திசியின் சிறப்பு என்பது ஈசனை நேர்கொண்டு தரிசிப்பது. So he is talking about Muruga is saying the south direction is the speciality is it is getting the sunlight direct. Lord Muruga says even Eason direct. You also pray the Eason also at the same time. It is a noon time. Okay. புவியும் சூரியனும் நேர் எதிர்நின்று ஆற்றலை பரிமாற்றிட குருதி ஒன்றே துணை புரியும். So for the energy strand to get the energy exchange, the blood is the one which is going to help. விண்குருதியும் மண்குருதியும் கலப்பட வேண்டும். குருதியின் பெருக்கத்திற்கு தாமிர ஆற்றலை துணை புரியும். So he is also saying to increase the amount of blood, the copper energy is going to be more useful because the copper energy is the one which is getting the direct sunlight. So that is going to be very, very useful. All of us know that importance of the iron for blood. But Lord Muruga here says it is also Tamara Atal. The copper energy is also very important for the increase of the amount of the blood. தாமிர ஒளியழியின் சிறப்பு என்பது வெப்ப இழைகள் பயணிக்கும் மூலக்கூறுகளே ஆகும். The important part is the heat strand which is traveling. That's much more important because you get higher energy. சூரிய ஒளியில் உள்ள தாமிர ஆற்றலை எளிதால் இனங்காணலாம். Easily you can identify the copper energy in the sunlight. வெப்ப இழைகள் அதிக மூலக்கூறுகளும் காந்த இழைகள் குறைந்த மூலக்கூறுகளை பயணிக்கும். So in the heat strand, you'll get more atomic energy bits compared to the magnetic strand. வீணை அடையும் தருணம் நஞ்சையிலும் இதனோடு இணைப்பு வேண்டும். So when it comes to the earth, it is combined with the toxic strand also. விண்முடுதலில் ஆற்றலின் கலப்பு நீண்டிடும் தருணத்தில் ஆற்றலின் கலப்பு நீண்டிடும் தருணத்தில் தாமிர ஆற்றலானது தனித்தே செயலாற்றிடும். So when the energy combination happens in the windmood or at the top, when the energy combination happens in the windmood on the top, the copper energy will be separately functioning because it is absorbing more heat, right? So action will be a little different. நேர்மறை இழைகள், எதிர்மறை இழைகள் மற்றும் நஞ்சிழைகள் மற்றும் கனிம ஆற்றல் மிக்க இழைகளில் கலப்பு கொள்ளிடும் புவியீர்ப்பு விசை ஆற்றலுக்கு ஏற்ப மூலக்கூறுகளாகவும் இடம்பெயர்ந்திடும். So the positive strands, negative strands, we're talking about the magnetic strands and heat strands மற்றும் நஞ்சிழைகள், strands, கனிம ஆற்றல் மிக்க இழைகள், depending on the gravitation attraction of the earth, the strand will be giving the atomic energy bits or the strand or the energy for the atomic energy bits. It will be different. That's what I'm talking about. Because of the difference in the gravitational energy from the earth, the amount of the atomic energy bits coming to the earth will be definitely different. தாமிர ஆற்றல் என்பது வெப்ப ஆற்றல் தன்னை எளிதாய் ஈர்த்திடும் காரணத்தால் நில மூலக்கூறுகள் அடங்கிய நஞ்சுழிகளும் அதிக மூலக்கூறுகளை ஏற்றிடும். So because the copper energy has more heat, it is going to absorb the nila molecule adangiya nanjaligal. The toxic strand, which has more of the earth energy bits, is going to absorb more also. மானிட உடலில் உருவாகும் குருதியின் ஆற்றல் அனைத்தும் in the human body, the blood energy of the blood, right? தாமிர ஒளியாற்ற உணவாய் ஏற்றிடும் மூலகாரணம் யாது என்பது அதில் அதிக விருந்தல் வெப்பம் மற்றும் விதி மூலக்கூறுகளே ஆகும். Why we are talking more in the human blood? Because the blood has more heat and also the water energy, right? That is how it is formed. The structure is like that. That is why the copper energy is more important, because the more heat is absorbed by the copper. So blood also needs more heat and also need more water. தாமிர ஒளிகள் யாவுமே தனது ஐவை மூலக்கூறுகளையும் வெப்பநிலை அதிகம் சேமித்திடும் காரணத்தால். So copper, because it is storing all those 5 elements in its heat strand, காரணத்தால் எளிதாக புவியில் விளைகிறது. Because of that, it can spread on the earth very easily. எனினும் அதன் வீரியம் எனும் பயணத்தின் வேகம் ஆகிய கூடியே காணப்படும். So therefore the intensity will be much more higher. அதன் பொருட்டே அவை விரைந்து தன் ஆற்றலை இழந்துவிடும். So it is going to absorb more as well as it is going to release also more faster. More absorbing faster, releasing also faster. டைம் தான். பாதரச ஒளியழிகள் உள்ள மூலக்கூறுகள் யாவுமே காந்த இழைகள் அதிக பயணிக்கும் காரணத்தால் அவை நெடுந்தளவு சென்றிடாது. பாதரச ஒளியழிகள் உள்ள மூலக்கூறுகள் யாவுமே whereas when you compare the mercury light strands, காந்த இழைகள், because only in the magnetic strands it will be more, it is getting more atomic bits, so it won't travel much distance. Whereas the copper one will travel much strand, and comparatively the mercury will not go much strand. So it's getting more and more complex. We have to read further paragraphs to understand this concept. That we will do from next class because of the time limit. So I'm going to stop right here. If you have any questions, let me know please at this time. Look at the question, Riga.
I don't have any questions, but
Freddy and Nivedita, any questions so far?
I have a comment to make.
இல்லைங்க ஏதோ question
Thank you.
Can I make a comment?
1 second.
I'm out of Zoom because of connection issue, but can I make a comment?
Yeah, sure.
So I just want to be clear from my side that when the copper bits come through at the wind motive, it has a lot of intensity because it travels via heat the most. So at noon that's when the maximum heat combines with the copper bits. So the heat that we're talking now, there are 2 types of heat. One is the heat strand that is coming from the sunlight, and there is a heat strand that is coming from...
No, not the strand. Need atomic bits. The second one, heat atomic bits. The first one, heat strand. There's a difference there. Heat strand, and those 3
So that's why he uses a wind strand. So this cosmic strand that is containing heat that comes via copper, and then there is another heat strand that is coming from the earth. That is going up there. That combines at the wind motive and causes that copper energy to be having more intensity because the copper absorbs more heat. So therefore, when it comes down with a lot of intensity as compared to my mercury strand, which has less intensity and less magnetic mercury bits.
Yeah.
So copper, so I'm correct on that. The second comment I want to make, so copper, when it travels through the magnetic strand, has less energy than how it travels through the heat strand. However, when copper energy meets with the water energy and the earth energy, it increases its intensity increases on earth, and in the human body it is in the form of acts in the form of blood by increasing the blood formation as well as the intensity of the blood, and all this happens give or take around noon time.
Yes, humidity is much higher. So I think that's why sometimes these Siddha and Ayurvedic people, they ask people to go and stand in the sunlight, particularly in the middle of the sun for a little bit. One of the treatment they give for skin diseases, as I know, particularly in the vitiligo and other kind of diseases, they ask them to stand in the middle of the day, sunlight for some time, and then they give medicines also along with that. So that makes sense now. Anyway, so with that, I'm stopping right here. More information is coming, complex energy information. So let's start with Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shivaya. Shivaya Namaya Navasima Mavayana Sisiya Namava Vashimayana Om Shivaya Namah
Mavayana Shishiya Namava Vashimayana Om
Shivaya Namah
Mavayana Shishiya Namava Vashimayana Om
Shivaya Namah
Mavayana Shishiya Namava Vashimayana Om
Shivaya Namah
Mavayana Shishiya Namava Vashimayana Om
Shivaya Namah
Mavayana Shishiya Namava Vashimayana Om
Shivaya Namah
Mavayana Shishiya Namava Vashimayana Om
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Okay. தேங்க்யூ நிவேதா. உங்கள் கிட்ஸ் இங்கே ரெடியாக இருக்குது, எப்போனாலும் ஆரம்பிக்கலாம் நீங்கள்.
சரிங்க, நான் இந்த வாரம் அம்மா வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் பிக்கப் பண்ணிட்டேன்.
சொல்கிறேன்.
தேங்க்ஸ்.
தேங்க்யூ.
Bye, Jayashree. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Niveta. Bye.
Bye.
I got cut off from the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was very flaky. So.
எனக்கு திடீர்னு